Sigmund Freud once famously said, "One day in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful." But that's not always the case, is it? Meet Dave Mustaine. Back in the 1980s, he was part of a band that was getting pretty famous. After practicing his whole life honing his guitar skills, he was finally living that rock and roll lifestyle. But on one fateful night in 1983, he was woken up by his bandmates, where they all bluntly told him that Mustaine was being kicked out of the band. In the middle of their national tour, Mustaine was put on a 4-hour train ride back to LA alone. Feeling betrayed by people that he considered brothers, he vowed revenge. He swore to start another band that would be way more successful than his last. He wanted his old bandmates to wake up one day and see him on TV drowning in fame, money, and glory, and regret the day they ever even thought about kicking him out of the band. Mustaine dedicated his life to making that vision a reality. He worked hard recruiting the best musicians he can find and working day in and day out, practicing and honing his skills. And against all the odds, his work paid off. His new band, which he decided to call Megadeth, broke records. They won Grammys and many other awards and sold over 40 million albums worldwide, and are considered among many heavy metal enthusiasts as a legendary band that changed the thrasher genre forever. By all metrics, Megadeth and Dave Mustaine were wildly successful. But interestingly enough, in an emotional interview in 2003, Mustaine said he still considered himself a failure. Why? Well, because while he was working hard, so were his former bandmates, and the band that he was kicked out of all those years ago was Metallica.
Watching for so many years, the band continue to become successful and successful and successful, and us to never address, the way that I was let go. My God, Lars, you guys woke me up and said, you know what, you're out. And I asked you, what, no warning? I said, no second chance? And you guys said, no, go.
They sold over 125 million albums worldwide and are considered by many to be one of the greatest heavy metal bands of all time. Dave Mustaine's, by our metrics, by regular people metrics, was wildly successful, but he considered himself a failure because his metrics of success were defined by one thing: to be more successful than his former bandmates. We choose our metrics of success. I need a house, $1 million, 1 million YouTube subscribers. Please subscribe. I need a lot of friends. I need to be healthy. I need a good relationship with my family. We unconsciously set these metrics of success without realizing that none of them have a true objective basis. All of them are subjectively chosen. One person will consider himself successful because he wants to wake up every morning, work out, eat healthy, and have a six-pack, while another person wants to spend quality time with their friends and maybe want to stay out late or enjoy their day-to-day more without having to worry about things like counting calories. Those are both just different metrics of success. We unconsciously set these metrics of success without realizing that none of them have a true objective basis. They are all subjectively chosen, but they don't always feel that way to us. Another very similar story happened to a man named Pete Best. Now, if you haven't heard of him, he was kicked out of a little band called the Beatles. He apparently never drank or did drugs. He had a steady girlfriend and was considered by many to be the best looking of the group, which drove many people to speculate that he was kicked out because of jealousy reasons, but that's a whole other story. After a period of depression and lawsuits, Pete said that getting kicked out of the Beatles was the best thing to ever happen to him, saying if it never happened, he never would have met his wife and never would have built the family that he has now. Somewhere along the line, he changed what he valued.
But the contribution and what we achieved in the 2 years I was with them was something I can look back with fond memories.
Yeah.
So regrets, no.
No regrets.
Far from it. It's not about yesterday. It's about today and tomorrow. And once I got that into my head, straight road ahead.
He completely changed his metrics for success, and because of that, he built a family life that the other band members struggled to build or even maintain. But again, being aware of those metrics of success and where they come from could help you weed out the ones that you don't really care about or ones imposed on you by other people. Dave Mustaine was a successful millionaire rock star. He made it, the 1% of the 1%. But because that one moment hurt him so much, he defined his whole life by that one metric of success. And because of that, he ultimately walked away unhappy, ungrateful, and miserable. And to be honest, that's his prerogative. He decided what mattered to him at the end of the day. And to be fair, it did push him to creating one of the best heavy metal bands of all time.
Maybe for some people, 18 years is a long time. For me, it seems like yesterday. I woke up and I look up and I see the guys that I love, that are my extended family. You gotta remember, all I had was my mom. All I had was you and James. We had dreams together. And I sold everything to join that dream.
He decided what matters to him. So I guess I'm asking, what matters to you? I came across both these stories while reading a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a It's a good book, so feel free to check it out. And, if you like my videos, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.